What's up and welcome to the Sam Dracula channel, a Charlotte Hornets fan channel. And boy, oh boy, man, Terry Rozier has been traded to the Miami Heat. It's been a long time coming. We've seen the rumors for weeks, and it's done. According to Woj and Shams and Rod Boone, sent into the league. Kyle Lowry coming back the other way with a first-round pick. Matter of fact, let me just show you. Here's the Woj tweet. Charlotte Hornets are trading Terry Rozier to the Miami Heat for 2027 first-round pick and Kyle Lowry. The 2027 first-round pick includes protections, RIP. And then Woj goes on saying the Hornets have no immediate plans to work on a buyout with Lowry, which is interesting because you can't be too excited to come here, and are expected to see if they can work another trade for him before the February 8th deadline. In the Rozier deal, Miami's first-round pick is lottery protected in 2027 and unprotected should it convey in 2028. So it's we're probably getting this pick because the Heat are going to stay in the playoffs. They're too good. They're too well run to not be in the playoffs. It's not looking good for us to get that 2028 unprotected pick. And yes, I am wearing a Terry Rozier jersey. My favorite jersey since the rebrand. I love this one, and it sucks that he's traded, but it's a long time coming. It's something that the Hornets have needed to do for a while to really back the future, right? This is a future move. Obviously, with the first-round pick and Kyle Lowry's age and contract, we're going to talk all about that in a second. But I'm a big fan of Terry Rozier. That dude is a competitor. He's a dog. He is everything you want from a big-time offensive threat, right, from the guard spot. Rozier checks a lot of boxes on the offensive side that if you're a playoff team or in the mix, you would greatly benefit from him being on your roster. But when you're the Hornets and you have 10 wins, shout out to the Timberwolves, let's go, it's not really needed, especially when you have LaMelo Ball, who you made a long-term commitment to, and then you take Brandon Miller second overall in the draft. That's your backcourt. You don't need Terry Rozier anymore. And why not flip him for something because he's worth something? With Lowry coming back the other way, Rozier could slide into that starting five or be heavily involved in the rotation there. It's a great trade for Miami, and I think like a very good trade for the Hornets. I think definitely the Heat won this deal. They got the better player in the deal. And with all the injuries we've had to deal with as Hornets fans, we've seen a lot of Terry this year, like a lot more minutes than he's ever played this season at 29 years old. It wasn't sustainable, right? For his sake and for the Hornets' sake, like Charlotte was running Rozier into the ground. If you look at the totals, the minutes played, career high last year and this year, it's going up. It's not the most sustainable formula, right? Playing guys more as they approach 30. So getting him off the books, getting him to Miami where he'll be in a more like healthy basketball situation is a very good move. And I just want to reiterate this again, that like Rozier has been so clutch and so key to what the Hornets have going on. Like truly one of the few bright spots the past 2 seasons has been Rozier. Like this dude, like a couple seasons ago, was playing with a broken wrist and no one knew about it until the post-season interviews. He showed up to it with the cast on. This guy was a gamer. He is a gamer, and Miami's getting a real heater, right? No pun intended. It's a big loss for the Hornets from just a character point of view. I don't know who's going to really fill his shoes in that respect, but just from a pure basketball perspective, you have Brandon Miller, right, and LaMelo Ball. Those are the guards on the team, right? Nick Smith Jr. has been playing very well lately. That probably escalated this, giving Nick Smith some more minutes. Hopefully that's what we continue to see as we go forward the rest of the year. Whether or not Lowry stays or goes or gets bought out, whatever happens with him, Nick Smith Jr. could be the big winner in this whole thing. Smith has been somewhere between 16 to 14 minutes a night last few games. I expect to see that jump up. We've seen Ish Smith be the first man off the bench way too often, in my opinion. But maybe we could see Nick evolve into something special because this draft class with Miller and Nick, it's so good. It's so good. Those guys are so good. I am ready to forget the 21 draft ever happened. Rozier is very much in his prime, but the money owed to him the rest of this season, the next season, and the following season when he'll be 31 years old is something that is worth getting off the books, right? It was a good extension at the time. It's still a pretty favorable contract considering what Rozier does, but the minutes he was playing and the idea that he'll be making $27 million at 31 years old at this rate wasn't sustainable, like I mentioned before, right? So getting him to Miami, getting off that commitment, these numbers are pretty like where Miles Bridges will probably end up getting paid. So you could probably slot over this cap commitment to Miles Bridges if they want to bring him back or if he wants to come back, right? If not, then you have it to use elsewhere, if not next season when Mark Williams is due a contract, which that whole situation can be interesting given his back injuries. Hopefully the big man can stay healthy. But getting off this $25 million and this $27 million contract commitment the next 2 seasons is a good idea. During this rebuild, we've seen too many of these like plug and play veteran guards who don't bring much upside and are probably on their last stop, right? From your Brad Wanamaker's to your Isaiah Thomas's to Ish Smith now twice, right? Kyle Lowry is the best of them, but still 37 years old. The future of the backup point guard position hasn't been addressed yet. Hopefully it gets addressed soon. LaMelo's health is always going to be top of anybody's concern when you're talking about what this team is capable of, and having a capable backup that can either mentor him or play with him, play in place of him is sorely needed. Will Kyle Lowry stick around? I have no idea. I doubt it. I'm never met the man, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to be here. I'm sure this guy wants to compete for a title. And he's owed, 29, almost $30 million this year. He's a free agent in the summer. So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen, but we'll address that when it happens. So there's still obviously a move to be made still with the Kyle Lowry piece. Whatever happens with him next is going to be a big piece of the puzzle here. When you talk about how good this trade was, it feels like the job isn't done yet. So it's really hard to grade. But getting off the Rozier long-term money, getting a future pick in the mix, it's hard to really argue with, in my opinion, until all this settles out. Good luck to Terry Rozier, Scarence Terrence, Hard Carry Terry. Good luck in Miami. The Hornets definitely did him a solid sending him there. He clearly wanted to go there. There's some stuff about the Lakers somewhat being interested, but clearly that didn't happen. So, and also we don't play Miami again this year. So we don't have to deal with that. We don't have to deal with the revenge game or anything like that. We have to, hopefully Rozier doesn't hurt us next year, which he probably will. That Terry game, his return to Spectrum Center or whatever, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be an issue dealing with Rozier next season. Now that he's with the Heat, I really thought we could get 2 1s for him. But 1, I'll take it. Lowry, again, we'll see what happens with that next piece. Maybe it ends up being 2 1s in the long term. 1 can hope, right? And then, hold that out, Minnesota. I've been Sam. You've been great. Peace.